Okay, now we're going to work on example 2 for our writing and solving linear equations lesson. This particular word problem tells us right in the beginning that we have a right triangle. So like we talked before, your best bet is to start right off the bat drawing your picture. We're eventually going to find the measures of the angles if one angle is 10 more than 4 times the other angle. And of course, the third angle is the right angle. They don't always tell us that, but we knew that to begin with. We need to define our variable, so we'll use n again to represent the number that we start with, or the variable that we're going to use for the unknown. We do know that one angle is 10 more than 4 times the other angle, so we almost want to say that this equals the number of degrees in one of our angles. So we'll just say this one is x right here, or n, whatever we decide. You know, variables, doesn't matter which one we use. So the other angle needs an expression, and that's where the 10 more than 4 times this angle is going to fit. So 10 more than 4 times this angle. I don't have room to squeeze it inside the diagram, so we're going to draw an angle and point to the inside angle for that expression. Now, there's actually 2 different equations we can use for this question. One, probably the most popular, is to take all of your measurements and add them up to 180. Every triangle, remember, has 180 degrees total inside for the interior angles. With this equation, you would draw your locker, you would combine like terms, and you would solve as usual. The other equation that we could have utilized is the fact that if we already have 90 degrees in the corner, we know that these 2 angles by themselves would have to be the other 90 degrees. 90 plus the 90 is going to add up to 180. So this equation is a bit shorter. It's still going to give us the same solution that we got a minute ago. You need to choose one method of solving. You do not need to show both equations. But I wanted to make sure you realize there's a slightly different equation that would still be okay. If x equals 16, we're not quite done because our job was to find the measures of all the angles. We already know the measure of the right angle is 90, so we can start with that one. And then we know this angle is just plain old x, so it's going to be 16 degrees. And the last angle, we need to do a little bit more math. The last angle is represented by 10 plus 4x. So this expression that we wrote originally is going to need 16 substituted in so that we can work through and come up with our final measurement. The last thing we should do is check. Do our angles add up to 180? So 16 plus 74 plus 90 is 180, so that we know we have all our angle measures correct.